Hi, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role playing games with friends. This is part of the Star Wars Saturdays, which is an anthology series I've been running for a few years now for the Gauntlet community. You can find more about the Gauntlet at gauntlet-rpg.com. It's an online group of fans, aficionados, and friends who like indie, small press, and OSR tabletop role playing games. Star Wars Saturdays every month, I choose a different RPG system, and folks from the Gauntlet gather together and create characters, and we tell a story. There's a loose timeline that I've followed the movies, but the original trilogy, and we're now past the timeline of the original trilogy, just a bit past. The New Republic is starting to form. So we're effectively in what I would consider the Mandalorian timeline. If anyone has seen that Disney Plus series of excellence, either of the two seasons have been super fun. And that's where we're at. So the New Republic is growing in fits and starts. There are still Imperial remnants, and this game is a game of Hyperspace D6. Hyperspace D6 is where someone took an open version of the old West End Games D6, very first Star Wars RPG that I know of. Definitely the first one that was licensed, came out in the 90s. They took the open version of that mechanics and kind of recreated a very stripped down version. So the original Star Wars D6 was a multi-hundred page rule book, a tome, and Hyperspace D6 is like a trim 25-ish pages. I've made some tweaks of my own because it's open sourced, and why not? And Dave is showing us a picture of the. Is that the original? Is that the original printed? That is gorgeous. Oh, you're muted, Dave.
This is the OG first edition
Oh, gee.
Star
God,
Wars.
that looks so good. Oh, that's a great condition too, man. Good job. Uh-oh, Cody's getting up. This is great. I love this. This stuff makes me happy. I love it. Oh, okay. So that is also first printing. You're also muted, Cody. And what's the other book in your left hand?
First printing of this, and then this is the New Republic, the Last Command source book. So this is what came out when the Heir to the Empire trilogy came out and finished. You'll see here we have Luke Skywalker fighting Mara Jade. Yeah, wonderful stuff.
Oh man, are we ever gonna see a Mara Jade? I don't know, man. Ever going to see an animated Mara Jade, or now that we've got a look-alike actor for Luke in current Mandalorian timeline? Who knows? Who knows? We've mentioned Thrawn, so why not more Mara Jade? I'd be into it. Sweet. Sorry for that run down the memory lane. Made me happy. Hyperspace D6 is that, rolling a bunch of D6 system against a target number. I've changed it to where it's all player facing rolls, and instead of a whole bunch of complicated like rolling to soak and all that stuff, it's just a wound track for bad guys and conditions for the good guys being the PCs. Please, Lord, I hope. We started off running some Age of Rebellion modules as a backdrop, and the group is currently, they have taken over a place called Whisper Base, which is located within one of the it is within the largest Imperial remnant known as Zsinj's Empire. Basically a Grand Moff by the name of Zsinj. When Palpatine died, he said, hey, I'm going to be the warlord of the Empire and keep the faith, as it were. And so he has taken over an area that stretches from like mid-rim to outer rim and has a number of planets, including like Mandalore and a whole bunch of other planets that there's some cool stuff in the first printing, 1987. Holy crap. I did not realize that. I thought it was always 90s, but awesome. So you guys are part of a crack team that have been formed under the command of General Hera Syndulla, sent to a place called Whisper Base, which exists on Arda 2. Whisper Base is a weak point of the Imperial Remnant in that a General Dardano had set it up secretly to spy on one of his rivals within Emperor Warlord Zsinj's command staff, and so there's some like sniping going on between the Imperial officers, and you guys have taken advantage of that. So you have taken over Whisper Base. You've cut off all communications before they got word out, and went in, took out a bunch of stormtroopers, took out Lieutenant Save, who was the person operating Whisper Base, and cleaned the place out more or less. Even taking over the Lambda class shuttle, which was pretty hectic. And also there was like a beast rider, a person on a Riping. I don't know if that's how they pronounced it in Clone Wars, but I know Sabine can tell me for sure. But the Riping, which is a flying beast, these beast riders actually attacked, but didn't do a full-on assault, and flew off after you called out to them saying, hey, we're good guys. So we'll see how that goes. Before we jump into introduction of characters, let me remind you, we do have some safety tools. We have lines, which means this is content we're not interested in at all. Lines against pandemics, sexual assault, violence, or coercion, torture by player characters. We have a veil, meaning it's okay if it happens, but we're going to fade to black or do a quick Lucas style screen wipe if it does come up, and that is on sexual content. And then we have ask first, which means that contextually this could be okay, but check in with the table before you introduce it. We had one from last week that carried over for suicide, and a new ask first on okay, I added it. Midichlorians, ask first. That's all I ask. Ask first. M count for some reason can like fly by my radar. I'll let it go. But like full on talking about midichlorian counts, harsh is my vibe, bros. So let's not do it. I know it's canon. I shouldn't say that, but I just did. So that is the setup. That is our safety tools. Let's quickly go around the horn and have folks introduce their characters, starting from the left to the right on the character keeper, which means Cody, you get to go first. Introduce yourself. Tell us about your character real quick.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Cody. I use he, him pronouns. I'm playing the character of Temet Ardand. He is a human sniper scout in the New Republic. He's fighting off well, I wouldn't even say fighting. He is actively engaged with a bit of a stim addiction, and he's hankering for some more. He is noticeably lost his gobbledygook accent after spitting out the rest of his chewing tobacco. So he should be more understandable this session. Yep, that's him.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Cody. I appreciate that. Thanks for being flexible. Dave, introduce yourself. Tell us about your character, please.
Hi, folks. I'm Dave Walker. He, him. I'm playing Jalpir, the Wookiee, who is the he, him. Jalpir is a noble from Kashyyyk and a famed fighter in the liberation of Kashyyyk. You know that scene? We got the Wookiee celebrating. It's me. I was there doing that.
Real quick question, Dave, I had as I was thinking about it. How is Jalpir known? Like, if someone looked at Jalpir and knew a lot about Kashyyyk and Wookiee nobility, how would they recognize that? Is that anything that he wears to show his station?
So,
or
there's not a great deal word about Wookiee.
You can make it up. It's totally
but
cool.
What I have done is I found a really cool picture of a Wookiee that's got really long braids, and I think those really long braids is a sign of Wookiee nobility. He also wears the armors and sigils of his clan.
Nice. All right. Thank you. Next up is Sabine. Introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
Hi, I'm Sabine. I use any pronouns. I'm playing Sarah Tarvo, who uses she, her pronouns. Sarah is a pilot. She's basically a teenager. Yes, she's a teenager. She grew up in a mercenary kind of found family organization. She is not maybe, she is actually a Sigerian princess, but she was rescued, abducted, who knows, when the mercenary organization liberated some slaves, and they found this little kid toddling around, and ever since then she's been with them. And now she has she's working for the New Republic, because she has some debts to pay off, I guess. Basically that's what it is. And she's a pilot. If I haven't said that, I will say it again, and I will tell you that she won what was it, Tour de Minos. the Minos cluster race.
The Minos.
I
That's
mean,
right. A huge multi-planet, 4-stage
Yeah, it's amazing.
hyperspace race. It was awesome, and Zyra won against a large field and won quite a nice prize that I think you guys blew on partying and stuff.
There's always something you can blow
Repairs.
this on, right? Maybe she has it somewhere and has forgotten about how to access the whole thing. Who knows? Anyway, she has borrowed her friend's ship just to get to this planet and maybe fly around it for a bit because she's not used living planet side. She kind of doesn't like it. That's the Dreaming Gundark or Dreaming Sunspark or Screaming Suns, some kind of variation of this. It's not stable. Something's wrong with the transponder, clearly.
It's twitchy. And last and certainly not least is Will. Tell us about your character and introduce
Hi,
yourself.
my name is Will. My pronouns are he, him. Are those of Kel Trazic, a former bounty hunter around the time of Empire Strikes Back, who after that became part of the rebellion and has gone from bright-eyed trainee to grizzled veteran and has gained a lieutenant's rank apparently as well. And yeah, he is the soldier in this particular system, although he has been represented in Bounty of the Week as well. And who knows, I may shove him into other games before long.
I hope so. I
mean,
mean,
he could,
shove it in all the games, all the Kel,
everything
all
but
the
Hook
time.
Cartel.
Yeah, that's because we want to see him again sometime. And survival and we all know. Awesome. So again, per the setup, you guys are currently in Whisper Base. It is the 4 of you plus Riffin, your astromech, the Ratataki by the name of Ivory, and you did have one person who surrendered to you, Private Baku, and you've had to fight a good number of the others. But I'm curious. I think that you guys, jumps to die roller, rolls 2d6, have 8 folks that you've either knocked out or who surrendered of the crew, the total crew of 30 that manned Whisper Base. We'll say that just because that's a pretty high number. I didn't think 2d6 would actually give me above average. It never does. I play a lot of 2d6 games, but Baku's one of the 7. So you have 7 other folks who are in various states of injury or non-injury because they surrendered or were defeated. What is the plan with these folks? Lieutenant Trazic.
Ah, shit. Put me in responsible for things again. I mean, we need to get the base repaired. We need to get the signals back online after that stormtrooper's grenade went off on his belt. I mean, what goddamn luck, piece of bad luck that was, huh?
You're saying you want to force them to do labor for us. That's basically how slavery starts. You know that, right?
I'm saying that there's plenty of rebels who got their start on the other side of the battlefield, huh?
Yeah, and if they want to join, that's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know that we can trust them. They just laid down their guns. There's nothing to say that if we turn our back on them, they'll fix that comm and call up somebody else. I think we got to be very careful before we go recruiting from the bucket heads. I'd prefer to grab from the locals if it was me.
Well, yeah, I would too, but local bucket heads are going to have some skills that the locals may not. I say we give them a chance, but we need to make sure we got some of our guys down here. I mean, what if we call in the general? And the general, is she a general, or we call her a commander? Where's she gone off the NPCs tab?
Oh, I'm sorry. You talking about General Syndulla, or are you talking about Major?
Major Mon Mothma, I suppose.
Major
yeah.
Mothma.
Who is the one who's sort of in charge of the Whisper Base operation, I believe, right?
Yeah, I actually did some reorganization, and I'd moved her into Whisper Base because
yes, well, perfect. Yes, yeah, no, that's fine. I just I couldn't remember the name for a second, but now I see.
No, it's okay. I've unhidden her, so she's not yet to whisper base, but I think that that's a cool request to put out.
So we don't have our Republic backup yet.
You do not. It's just you guys right now. I'm really curious how you handle this initial bit here. Got recruitment from the outside, who likely be more friendly towards you, you would assume, but also what's their skill set and know-how, or using the bucket heads, your Imperial prisoners, but then are they at all trustworthy?
Well, we lock them in the recreation room
Okay.
for a start.
Isn't
we-
that where the hollow screen? Okay, I have a hollow screen on my ships anyway.
That would be. We have a hollow screen in the briefing room as well.
Okay,
Yep.
I guess.
Lock them in the recreation locker room because that way there are toilets, showers, and facilities, and nothing of importance that they can. I'd lock them in the barracks, but it's got a direct connection to the armory, which seems like a very stupid idea.
I mean, we got a
trash
perfectly open
compactor. Put them in there.
Exactly.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like we need to secure the base until the New Republic can come and take control of it over us. We've got the lieutenant, haven't we? Who we clearly cannot trust at all. He's getting.
Oh no, you killed him.
I killed him.
Yes, if I remember correctly, you
No,
guys.
I stunned him.
Oh, you did. That's so right.
Yeah,
Yes.
the only people I killed were the ones I threw a grenade at.
Yeah, you naded a bunch of stormtroopers in and outside of the comm room, but he did get stunned. Yes. So awesome. I could do my bad Imperial impression.
Yeah. We already pumped him for quite a lot of information from what I remember last time. Yeah. I will. Well, I think with Zhao Pe, perhaps I'll say we need to convince them that if they play along, they ain't going to get hurt.
They won't get hurt. They are prisoners. We have a responsibility.
That's what I'm saying.
And ethical.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if you don't, if some of them decide that they'd rather die than serve the Empire, then
What was that?
If someone if someone says that they'd rather die than surrender for the Empire, these are the ones. We can't let them. Can't let the zealots get the rest of them in trouble, right? We got to make sure that everyone understands that if they keep.
So you want to execute the prisoners, basically, if
Why?
they don't fall in line.
Why on earth do you all think that I want to execute the prisoners? What I'm saying is that we just need to convince some of them that it's in their best interest to not let the ones who don't want to go along. Yeah.
Yeah, Lieutenant. Maybe we check the computers. We can figure out who it is we got here. Maybe some of them are already a little bit more leaning our way. If you catch my drift, we can find out their records and who they are.
I like that. Armand, Ardan, you give that a go, huh?
All right. So I'm gonna head off to like the comms room or the a data pad, some station to try and find the records of who we have actually in the station.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Like on disciplinaries or suspected.
Right. Yeah. Looking for anybody who's like fraternizing with the locals or anything like that has these marks in their record that shows they're probably here against their will, or maybe they're press ganged into serving. And then obviously we need to take a roll call of the prisoners we have. So gotta match up names and stuff, but
fantastic. Yes, you can catalog who they are. They give you their all of them except for Baku give you their like ident codes, as 4513442 beta, and Baku gives you his name, his first and last name. He's from what's a planet that Baku could be from, where he ended up here in the Empire?
Let's say he's from Dantooine.
Nice. Okay, so you're able to do enough research, get those the idents, and Baku's afraid to give you everybody else's name in front of the others, but get a feeling that like he would probably roll on everybody. He super wants to sign up, aka sell out his buddies. Whether that's good or bad, you tell me. But you can give me a search roll. And while you have pretty good systems, those systems are not exactly conducive to hacking. So it's just a straight up search or perception roll. Reminder, everybody should have 1 force point back. So you start each session with 1, or if you didn't use it, it doesn't go up to 2. So it just, you always have 1 at the beginning of the session. And you can spend character points for extra dice if you so wish, but you're rolling 3 dice and the difficulty is going to be moderate. You will need a 15.
All right, and the first die is going to be the destiny die.
Correct.
So I got a 3, a 2, and a 1. Hot rolls. That
is a faily fail.
Yeah, no good. Character dice I can spend afterwards to add an extra die, but I
Correct.
wouldn't get up to it. All right, I think I just fail. I fail.
Yeah, that's probably the right way to go, seeing as how you've just rolled a 6 on 3d6. Cool. So you do some research for a bit. You're able to find that a lot of the marks on these soldiers are minor infractions, petty annoyances. There was a fight between one of the guys who was a heavy gunner, who's been kind of bumped down to be a mechanic, but you don't really get any vibe off of any of them that they have the tendency. Like, the Whisper base is not where people were dumped. These are actually folks who, other than Baku, seem to be on the up and up as far as doing their job. If that makes sense.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. Unfortunately, that's no good for us.
Not good at all. No, you realize this could be bad.
I'm going to relay that information to the lieutenant. Aside from Baku, and even then, he was so quick to turn on us. I'm not sure I trust him anyways. But I don't think we're going to have very many likely allies. We can force them into work, of course. And maybe you and the Wookiee can break them a bit. But based off their records, I think these guys they're ride or die for the Empire.
Well, shit. I guess we're stuck with them until the Republic can take them off our hands. Still, we got an ETA on that yet? Zyra, you managed to raise command? You managed to raise command on the shuttle or anything like that?
Was it supposed to? Well, I can try, but I would rather go to the ship, back to the ship. I'd take the shuttle and go back to the ship and then raise command.
Why don't you take one of the speeder bikes and go back to the ship, huh?
Okay.
And that way we don't have to fly the shuttle back and then the ship back and then
True.
the whole kind of thing.
Yeah, you're right. I'm taking a speeder. Speeder bikes are fun. And I'm taking a speeder bike back to the ship and to try and contact the Republic.
Awesome. Roll me a d6.
We should probably bring back the
Roll you a what? Sorry.
Well, so it's okay. Kel, what did Kel say before you go?
I was just saying we should probably bring the ship to the base now that I think about it, right? Rather than have it out in the jungle somewhere. Sorry.
No. That's not a bad idea. As you guys saw from the write up on the base, you could have the Lambda class shuttle and your little freighter on the deck. What the heck is it called? Crap.
Landing bay.
Landing bay,
pad?
launch pad. The launch pad. That's what it's officially called on the write up for the Whisper base. So yeah, roll me a single d6, Zyra, during your flight on the speeder bike back.
Okay, a single one. I have to delete all of these. No, wrong. I've rolled a 1.
Awesome. So when you take the speeder bike out, what does that look like? What does Zyra Tarvo on a speeder bike look like?
I have spent a few character points to give me a 1D in drive, which
Okay.
I think applies to speeder bikes, right?
Absolutely, it does.
So I think she has she knows how to drive a speeder bike, right? She gets up on it and then she just whooshes out. She's pretty fast. She's trying to avoid hitting trees, though. Yeah, it's like if you've seen these speeder bike chase scenes in the Return of the Jedi, it looks like that.
Nice.
Without the Evox hanging, trying to get her off the speeder bike.
Nice. So you zip through the jungle. You know where you placed the Gundark and pull around. And when you park the speeder bike, of course, it does that like hover in place thing that speeders do, the repulsor craft do. You slip off and you immediately get an odd sense, Zyra, that something is not right. You're not sure if it's like an inner feeling or if something has I don't. What kind of security do you imagine the Gundark has? You just shut the doors? I mean,
Yeah,
works with a Razor Crest.
Ivory and Riffin are still on the ship.
That's right. Ivory and Riffin are still on the ship. So
that's our security measure. There are people there, and if something goes wrong,
that's a great security measure.
Probably yell at us.
Sweet. So yeah, something seems a little odd. You get a weird feeling when you head up, and then
oh no, I don't head up if I get a weird feeling. I'm listening to these weird feelings. I mean, maybe it's just planet side stuff, and but I have a comm device, right? This was the game where we all had comm links.
Yeah, you do have
so I'll call Ivory and ask if anything's the matter.
Cool. So
or Riffin. Probably Ivory though. She's prettier.
Cool. Hey, Zai! Are you back? Was that you? I thought I heard something.
It's me. I'm on a speeder bike. Is everything all right?
Oh yeah, you hear music playing in the background.
Oh, okay.
It's great. Everything's good. How are you?
I'm fine. It was fun. I'll tell you all about it. I'm coming on board. I'm not that much I'm not that much of a warlord, so I'm just getting into the ship. Or maybe, hey, I tell her to drop the ram so I can drive the speeder bike into the ship.
Oh, wow. Yeah, let's do that. And then the ramp starts to come down. And as you hop back onto the speeder bike, there's a shadow that passes overhead. And you see one of those ripping, those flying creatures that you saw before as it goes in a lazy arc. And it's small enough to where you realize it's like hundreds of meters up in the air, very high.
Wave.
Nice.
Sure, I mean, why not? But I'm getting in the Gundark and say hi to Ivory, and then I'll try to contact the rebellion.
Cool.
Because I don't think that thing isn't big enough to be any kind of trouble to ship the Gundark size, right?
No, it would only be trouble to the people going in and out of the thing, and you just brought the speeder bike in, but you get the feeling that they're keeping a watch on you. And you call up, use the code cylinder, and you hear from Major Mothma. She says, oh gosh, what's she gonna call Zyra? Like rank-wise specialist, I assume, since you're not actually gone through any of the military training.
Yeah,
you're just
probably
kind of a specialist. Specialist Tarvo, this is Major Mothma. Do you have any updates to share with us on your progress?
Yeah, we took the base, so we have a lot of prisoners we don't know what to do with because they're all loyal to the Empire, I hear. So and we're not really willing to shoot all of them. So
Of course not. Thank you. Thank you. Is Lieutenant Trazic well?
everybody's fine. There was a bit of resistance, but you know, these guys, these soldier guys are real pros, and we got a Wookiee.
You do. You do. Good. I am gathering my team, and we are en route. We will be there in about 24 standard hours.
Okay.
Because
Do you
of
have
the
any
Imperial control,
intel?
we will be landing in Aziz and making our way from that the planetary capital to the base.
Okay. I mean, you could land at the base.
Could land at the base, but we don't have the correct transponder codes, and if there are any mix-ups, I'm worried that might alert the Empire to the loss of Whisper Base.
Okay, I guess if you say so. Fine. Do you have any intel on the Empire's movements? We have to worry about a Star Destroyer showing up and trying to get back to base or something like that.
At this point, we have not noticed anything untoward. We do have some bad news, but it's unrelated to your current mission, and it does not impact you directly.
Okay,
We'll
fine.
talk more when we are able to make our way to Whisper Base.
Okay, I'll just take a look around. Right. See you.
Now, the Lambda class shuttle that you've secured based on our intel, please do have the comms of the base ready on this signal. If we run into trouble in Aziz, we may call upon you for assistance.
Fine. Cool.
Thank you, Specialist Tarvo, and may the
Sure.
Force be with you.
Yeah, you too.
I think the whole time that you're like doing the "May the Force be with you," that
No, Sarah is totally down with the Force.
yeah, I know, but
with you.
Ivory's
That's
like
fine.
rolls her eyes, and oh goodness, you have to say that every time you talk to these guys.
That's the way they talk.
I need to go to the bathroom. May the Force be with you. Can you please pass the salt? May the Force be with you.
From what I've heard about the Force, it's kind of useful if you go to the bathroom, and if you're old ass, it's kind of helps apparently.
That definitely cracks her up.
Yeah, I'll take the Screaming Fundark out to just be in space for a bit, right? And maybe see if there's a Star Destroyer coming our way or something.
Oh, so you're just gonna like up and leave?
I mean, it's a planet. It's boring. I will alert. Once we're in orbit, I will alert Trazic that I'm doing that, because that's when I think that I should maybe let them know.
Cool. So we'll cut away from that. Ivory, of course, is 100% on board with this. Riffin thinks it's a terrible idea, and you're the worst operative for the entire New Republic. Which he tells you, because he's not shy. So let's cut to, there was a scene you wanted a little bit a crack at the prisoners when the scene moves on there, Jalpir. So we'll pick up with Jalpir. Do you wait for everybody to be away so that you can have this word with the prisoners, or what's your plan here?
No, I'm more than happy to walk up to them wherever they are currently, presumably tied up, and I think Jalpir will look over at all of them and says, "The Empire is gone. It is not coming back." I'll just watch to see who reacts to that in the first instance. Does anyone say anything?
Yeah. So there's one person among the group who has identified himself as well, you see he's got corporal tags on, and he sneers and says, "Palpy was the emperor, but that doesn't kill the Empire." So good job on killing one old man. Congrats. But we don't care.
So I will look at the others and said, he has already chosen. For him, there will be a prison planet, and there will be a life to reflect upon his devotion to the Empire. For the rest of you, there is a chance and a choice. Help us, tell us things that are of use to us here, and your sentence will be mitigated, perhaps entirely dealt with. You may make your way out into the galaxy or find nobler employment, keeping this galaxy safe, serving with us in the Republic. And I am trying to command them to, not the one who's me. I stand over, I put my hands on his big Wookiee hands on his shoulder and pat him whilst talking to the others. But I'm not threatening them, I'm offering them a better chance. So I'd like to command them.
That is awesome. I love this idea. I'm pulling for you. But they are Imperials, so let's see how it goes. You're going to command them, which means you can roll your perception plus command. And
4 dice. Gosh, I'm having trouble with this dice roll. Hold on.
yeah, it's 4d6. And if we want to jump back to the older die roller, I'm a-okay with it. We'll do a check in.
I've had to disconnect my VPN and refresh, so it doesn't work behind the VPN. But I rolled a 15 and a 6 on the drama dice. I'm assuming the first dice is a drama dice.
Yep, first die is the destiny die, and it was going to be a moderate difficulty, which was a 15, which means that you
6. So yeah. I will offer them as my noble hand extends to them. It said, I will not threaten you. I will not put you in chains. Join the Republic.
Nice. And so we have the one guy who's named Sarlin, who was saucy with you. He is not buying into this. He thinks it's a bunch of lies and mouths off about, well, yeah, sure, you guys are in charge now, but he doesn't think that anything's going to come of it. The rest, they buy in. It's really about, do you trust them? What proof do they have to give you?
They will have to tell me something useful about this base or this planet or the Star Riders. They will have to swear an oath to me to be brothers in my clan. And if they should break that oath, I'll break them. I embrace you as brothers, not as enemies.
Ooh, man. So you've got, there were 8 total. One of them is a definite no. And the other 7 are at least paying lip service to this. So yeah, you will start getting some folks who are gonna sell out. and really the thing is, do you wholly trust them once they give you some information? And how are you going to handle?
No, we're not going to wholly trust them. They're not going to have their weapons. They will be kept still under. They will be arrested. But the choice is whether or not they were going to be, locked up in chains. Which I've got a thing against that, right? So we're not locking no one up in chains, or whether they will have a chance to redeem themselves. So the Emperor has made fools of all of you. We offer you hope and a new start.
Nice.
So no, they're not going to get their weapons. They are, if they're going to, I think there will have to be follow-up questions with probably Kel and others to figure out what we need them to tell us. But this is a chance, I said, to mitigate their sentence and support us. The Republic can deal with them when they arrive then. But we don't want. We've identified who is their ringleader. He will be kept separate.
All right.
The one again who was kept separate, the mouthy one, I will sort of stand him up and put my big hands on him and said that you will be imprisoned, but you will be treated well and fairly. No harm will come to you.
Sarlin, he says, whatever, Rug.
and said, "No harm will come to you from me." And I'll push him towards Tammet and take the others out of the room.
Ooh, Tammet, you've now been passed over.
Yeah, Tammet, if he's nearby, he's had a blaster drawn the whole time, and he lets the guy kind of like fall into the muzzle of the blaster, and it kind of whispers at him like, "Oh, imagine if I had slipped." And then he takes him and roughs him up as he takes him to the private holding cell or the prison that Joker indicated.
All right. So, Keltrazik, you've got a Wookiee who is trying to cow these Imperials into following orders or helping out.
Yeah, well, good. That's what I thought. I mean, it always comes stronger from a Wookiee than it does from me. Plus, he's like nobility, huh?
He's very noble.
Well, I guess the only thing we really can do is keep an eye out until the Republic gets here. We can't leave. But if once we got some vague assistance from the Imperials, I would like to get that command center back up and running as soon as possible.
Okay, so you'd like to spend your time working on the command center, getting it back up and running. You know that at least some of the folks that are imprisoned could help you if you want to trust them, or you can do the work yourself, but chances are you're not going to make a significant amount of progress without them.
Well, then I will oversee their repair work, I suppose.
Oversee their repair work?
Well, I'm not very good at repairing. So if we've got an Imperial, Zhao Pierre's just got some of the Imperials on board, right? Like,
Yeah,
so.
take them to the canteen. I'm going to give them something to eat. I mean, I remind you, I rolled a 6 on the drama dice, right? So
yes, you did.
It is. It's just we will break bread together as friends.
Yeah, I will break bread with them, and join in Zhao Pierre's thing, and then try and get a couple of the, or like maybe just one or two, really, to help work on the command center.
I sing the Wookiee opera. But no, I think hopefully I am treating them with kindness, but I do want to know about these beast riders. I want to know of any the second base. I want to know of any traps that have been laid. They will have to convince us, but hopefully by being kind and not threatening them, they will give me some answers.
So generally what you gather from your captives is that the Beast Riders have attacked them, and they're nothing but, savages. So Save has had them hunted with impunity, like any of the Imperials who want to hunt for them can, but then of course it's pretty dangerous, so they just talk a lot of trash about them. The other base, they've been ordered to keep a very strict low profile. So they only know that it is a very large base, that if the other base found out about Whisper Base, there would be trouble. So they don't have a great deal of intel to offer on that either, unfortunately. These guys were picked for their ability to keep their mouths shut, and they have been here working, providing details and intelligence through SIGINT, there's signal intelligence, to Lieutenant Save, who's reported up to General Dardano.
General Dardano is where?
General Dardano is off planet. He's nowhere on Arda 2. Yeah.
Okay. Because the key thing is that Whisper Base is secret from almost all of the Imperials as well, which is why we don't have to worry about a huge counterattack until General Dardano decides to retake his hidden asset.
one that referred to them as savages. I will look at him and says, "Would you have called me a savage before we broke bread?"
Oof. And that'll be Pag, who was a stormtrooper. He looks down. Yeah.
Says, "Your words have power." Did you say Pag was his name?
Yeah. Pag Rebishan. PX844.
Yeah, your words have power, Pag, but it seems your eyes. You say he was an ex-stormtrooper then, sorry, Rich.
Mm-hmm.
Says your eyes, like all stormtroopers, seem to be crossed. You have a chance to think again. These are not savages. They're defending their territory, their planet. You are the ones who have acted with savagery.
Pag's going to sit on that. He's definitely not going to argue that point with you, but you can see that there's a lot of programming in his head that he has to kind of reconsider.
Oh, absolutely. I can't change them all in one day, but I can make sure that they don't say silly things like that. He says, "Now, finish your bread. You must grow up big and strong." He said, "You are not fully grown yet. You're a little short for a stormtrooper."
That's funny. I think I actually would get a chuckle from Pex Lopez. He isn't the nicest person. He likes jokes that mock others, but he also realizes there's a big freaking Wookiee here. So when he says funny stuff, you should laugh. That's his basic modus operandi right now. Cool. So let's cut to Zyra Tarvo as you're going for a joyride up into space.
I'm not going for a joyride. I'm going to scout because, yeah, there might be Imperials on the planet, but even if they're on the planet, they have to get there and they probably won't walk. And you can scout better if you're in space. So
these are all logical.
These are all logical. And also, I really don't like being on the planet too long. But well. Yeah, but I'm trying to keep a lookout, see if I can sense any sense. I mean, sense with the sensors, not with the force or anything. Like if I can get any idea about if there are Imperial Star Destroyers hanging over the planet, I probably see them.
Cool. So there is quite a bit of Imperial force. So you head out into space. You see that they have a Gazanti class cruiser that's just in orbit, kind of geosynchronous orbit over their major base. There are about 6 TIE fighters that are attached to the Gazanti class cruiser, but they're not flying around at this point. So yeah, that's definitely a real and present threat. If this Imperial base becomes aware that Whisper base has been turned, they will be able to send a pretty significant force against you guys.
Okay, that's good to know. I mean, but they don't seem to be aware of anything, right?
At this point, they seem to be operating as normal. No expectation of problems whatsoever.
Okay. That's I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to attract any attention.
Don't want to poke the bear. That's probably a good
no. I don't really. I mean, I would like to actually, but there are guys down there that I like, so or at least are sort of comrade, and I don't think they should be blown to smithereens, and I don't. But things were different. I totally would have to do something stupid, but right now, okay, let's not, and we can do something stupid later.
So speaking of doing something stupid, as you do your little bit of scouting and you realize, you know what, let me go ahead and head back planet side, you receive comm.
Okay.
And Ivory will call out, "Hey, this is an Imperial signal. Should we ignore it? We should ignore it. Let's ignore it. Let's just
No,
go."
let's not ignore it. Let's see what they want. Let's lie to them.
Okay.
You should keep your mouth shut and let me lie to them. And I say, this is what are we now? The Dreaming Fundark. Hello, how can we help you?
Dreaming Fundark, your transponder code's coming up a little twitchy here. We need you to pull into IZs, and we'll provide you landing coordinates, but we need to have that checked over. You're not coming up on any of our idents.
Oh, well, that's too bad, but that transponder, sir, has been a little twitchy for a long time, and I'll change the transponder, of course, to something else. The Screaming Sunspark was nice, or the Gunning Dreamdark. Sir, we don't need a check, though. We're fine, and this is just a little hitch. We're just look, we're just simple traders. We're going to go down and figure out how to get one of these beasties and sell it to a hut, because that's what we're doing. You know, these flying around beasties, that's what we're doing. We're going to figure out how to get one of them to a hut.
All right, that's interesting, but let's go ahead and avoid any further entanglements here. Go ahead and Gunning Dream Dark. We need you to pull into IZs.
What for?
Because we don't have any currently contracted hut hunters.
We're not hunting huts, sir. No. That would be too easy. You'd have seen a hut, yeah. And B, why would we? They are people. We don't hunt people. We hunt beasts, sir. Please.
Right. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and send a couple ties your way. They'll be escorting you to IZs.
You know what? No, I don't think so.
You see a pair of TIE fighters pop down from the Gazanti, cruiser, just attached to them, that pop down.
Oh,
start flying.
Yeah. I think I'll contact the base and say, hey, we need to get away from the planet for a bit. We'll be back. So, because I don't really want to put down into ICs and have these. I mean, this is not my ship, right? And I don't want the Imperials getting over it. Car wouldn't like that. So I'll just say, hey, you know what, Empire? I've just received an urgent transmission. My grandmother's dead and I have to go to her funeral. Bye.
Awesome. Yeah, so that's good. Let's go ahead and see if you can give me a piloting roll to avoid any problems. I assume you're going to just drop into hyperspace and get the heck out of Dodge. Is that the plan?
Yeah, right. No, I'm just doing that. I'm not trying to figure out how to fight some TIE fighters. I mean, it's fun, but I don't want to. What's the word? Blah blah. The mission. Endanger? Compromise the mission. That's what I don't want to do.
Oh, so that makes total sense.
Yeah.
So the good news is that your mobility for the Gunning Dreamdark is 3 dice.
Okay.
And that means that the difficult activity that you're trying to pull, difficulty of 20, you get to add in all of your piloting dice, which are significant, plus the mobility of your lovely shuttle.
Okay, that's nice. It's not a shuttle, though. It's a ship.
Sorry, you're right. Ship.
Okay, and how much? What's my target?
Target is a 20.
Okay, so I'm rolling all these lovely dice, and I've rolled d8s, of course. I'm sorry, I apologize. No, I think I like the old dice roller better.
Okay.
I'm rolling these. Okay. And I added dice. Okay. takes a bit of while. Now I've rolled a 30 though.
Nice. I
Yeah.
do love that it sums it up for you. A 30 with a 2 on the destiny die. We have Ivory as she hops on to try to angle the deflector shields. The TIE fighters are coming in. Whoa! They're screaming towards you while you're trying to plug in the coordinates. And Riffin says, if you'd really just not gone on this joyride, we wouldn't have to jump into hyperspace. It's just, it's the worst. I'm definitely telling Carwu.
Why? What's so wrong about jumping into hyperspace? I don't understand it.
And so the deflector shield holds as you plug in the coordinates with Riffin double checking your math, and you hop into hyperspace. So, yeah, hey, damn it. I'd like to cut to the scene where you're going through the supplies and kind of logging everything into the data pad when you discover those stems.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, so Tammet, after pushing the sturdier stormtrooper into his own detention cell, he gets to work on the next task set to him, and he's rummaging through everything. Okay, rations X number. He's entering it all in the data pad, and he comes across the stim packs, and he just pockets those. There's nothing to be said about it. He sees these, he leaves 2, takes 2, thinks about it, takes a third, and leaves just 1 in there, just in case. And he kind of like pats it, and he says, I might come back for you later. And yeah, I mean, it's not even a thought to him. He needs these.
Yeah, that's how you keep going.
Yeah,
it's important. Awesome. And then, yeah, Lieutenant Trazik, what's the setup? So Jalpir seems to have convinced 7 of your 8 captives to give up information. They've given you intel on Gyrene. They made sure that you guys had all the codes you needed to unlock things that with code cylinders you would have had anyway. And yeah, you even get an offer from we'll say that Toma. She says she's more than happy to help fix the comm units. She's fully trained. She kind of drops down all of her qualifications with the array.
Well, we the circuit out is still off in the communications room, right? We're just repairing the terminals here. So my hope is that it's effectively impossible to summon the Imperials right immediately, because we've cut off, like, we turned off the Wi-Fi router essentially. We're fixing the PC. I'll sit with her and oversee, like, I think the argument is that we need the control center back up so that we can keep the base secure against beast riders, etc., who might come after us. Well, we're hanging out. I'll ask her about the locals in what are they called again? Darasted. The smaller village that I've heard that the other Imperials recruit labor from.
Lieutenant Save didn't want some of the more menial tasks, so we recruited from there. They did work for us for a while until their elder decided that enough was enough, and Save made an example out of her.
Made an example. You see Kel's hand tighten on the hydro spanner, and him look down the corridor to the cell where Save is held. And he shakes it off and looks back and says, "Right, you know who's in charge around there now?"
I don't think anybody's in charge anymore.
Right. Well,
that wound's still fresh, Lieutenant. It was 10 days ago, 10 standard days ago, when Neck, I believe was her name, was punished by Corporal Sarlin.
Sarlin. Sarlin, the one who's in the trooper who's in the...
Yes, Lieutenant.
Saving Sarlin. Well, all right. Well, that's good work, Toma. I appreciate the help. You'll find that if you stick with us, we ain't like the Empire. You ain't got to worry about your commanding officer snapping your throat or sending you to a firing squad just because you didn't salute crisply.
That sounds pretty good. I never really had a choice.
Well, I want to make sure you know you got a choice now. Like, well, as soon as I've got some way of getting those who want to leave off this planet without blowing the whole thing. You understand?
Yeah, Gyrene base is pretty bad news.
Yeah. I'm hoping we can keep us. My feeling is if they find Whisper bases here and they find that it's compromised, that they'll just shoot us from all. They'll send the turbo lasers rather than a ground assault team. So I appreciate you helping us keep it under wraps.
I figure it saves all of our bacon if we do.
Yeah. All right. Well, now I hope you understand I can't quite leave you on your own here just yet.
I'm used to being watched.
Well, sooner I cannot wait until the day I do not have to watch you. Your back. I don't have to watch you, Tomer, and I can just get on watching your back. You would be one of us.
And that sounds good to me too.
All right. I mean, I feel like beyond waiting for, there's not much we can do with 8 people who are kind of, we've moved them from the dark side to the neutral. I feel at this point we haven't moved them 100% over to the light, and also we'd have to be trusting them too much to just leave them to it, right?
Right.
But I would like, now that the control center is repaired, actually, I think the thing I would like to do is to go over any intercepted messages that they have found and see if there's any actionable intel ahead of, or what things that might compromise the Republic backup coming in, that kind of thing.
Okay. Cool. So let's have you. Let's see. What's an appropriate skill for doing some research through collected signal arrays information? I think search is always a good option. Looking for hidden objects or important details. I don't think any other skill applies as well.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Cool.
So,
and we'll call that you're identifying something pretty obscure, so we'll call it moderate.
Okay, which is a difficulty of
15. And over time, that difficulty may change and make it easier. It's just like your first blush of diving into the information.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. What was that to be again? 15.
Yeah, 15.
So I would need at least another 2 character points to do this. Tired of rolling. It is a lot. Forget it. I guess I don't manage to do it.
Okay.
So it goes.
So you collect a bunch of the information. It's just so much traffic. Like the Imperials have all kinds of protocols, and while this base is made to kind of splice that stuff up, it's hard to make heads or tails of it. It's one of those things where you have to kind of write everything down and start to see the pattern. So it's going to take some time. So the failure, it doesn't mean you can never figure anything out. It just means that at this point, first blush, you're not a trained breaker type guy. So it's a lot more than you can easily grab right off the top.
I hear Major Mothma, graduated with a degree in analyst. Is an analyst.
she is a data analyst.
Yeah.
So she will definitely be able to help things out. Sweet. I want to check in with Jal Pierce. So some of these guys are starting to really gravitate towards you. Pex and Pag Pex is just a regular trooper, but Pag was the stormtrooper. Two of them, Jalpir, like they are offering to help. Like, hey, we know that this, and they start listing off some of the like mundane activities that have to be done to maintain parts of the base, and they're trying to like jockey for the ability to get out of their imprisonment to help out.
Then we will go and work on these things together. Yes. Seems reasonable. Yeah, I'm gonna, if they've seen what is it, like maintenance or faulty systems or things that have to be done to keep the base running?
Yeah, it's basically things to keep things in good condition on the array. So you know, it's basically there's some security sensors. There are general degradation from being in such a moist and wet environment, so they have to replace some of the wiring and the like. And you get the feeling that Pex and Pag are just like, they want something to do. They also want to stay on your good side.
Well, they're not going off on their own, but we can certainly use their assistance. It's a way of helping to reduce their likely sentence. Or maybe, as I say, bringing them over to the good side. So yeah, we'll go out and wherever they want to go, reasonable anyway on the base. So where are some of these problems that they've identified?
The first place that they recommend you guys head to is up onto the launch pad. There was quite a bit of damage that was caused when the Nelos kind of started to take off, and knocked a bunch of things off of the launch pad. There was an oil barrel that's like seeping oil out, and they recommend, hey, you know, that's going to bring in scavengers and the like. And so they're going to work to like pull up the barrel and kind of plug it, and then go drag it around to the lift and take it back up and set it back in, clean some stuff up and fix things on the launch pad. It's kind of menial labor, but the kind of thing that they
having a dodgy launch pad for when Zyra does come back would seem like a bad plan. So having them work on that, but letting Tamat and Cal know and see if they also want to keep an eye on them with me.
Okay. So Tamat, when you have access to lots of stems, I would imagine that like you got lots of energy. You know, what's the kind of stuff that you do to burn off all that energy?
Well, the crux of Tamit's addiction is having to stim when he's out on a recon or sniping mission for a long time. He can't, risk losing the target because he needs to nod off. And so as soon as he gets his hands on the stems, he's going to head to Trazik and try and get a legitimate reason to use them. Not that he's going to mention them, but he's going to approach the lieutenant and Lieutenant, we came into contact with those beast riders. One of them flew over the landing bay, damn near took out the shuttle while Zyra was attacking it, but they responded well to my calls. If it is okay with you, sir, I would like to head into the jungles and try and make contact with these anomalies, these unknowns, these.
I get you. Yeah, I was thinking much the same thing, Ardan, but maybe we should take a look at these. I was looking over the spools in the briefing room, and I saw that there's detailed maps of the base and the surrounding jungle. Might give us some sort of lead on it.
Sure,
It even has a guide to navigating the jungles of this planet, which I'm sure your skills are more than sufficient, but it'd be good to know a bit of the local flavor, huh?
No doubt, sir. And that is a great way to go.
Why don't you and me watch a haul of it, and we'll see what.
Well, no.
What we can
Well, I
learn.
mean, listen, sir. I don't mean to argue with you. These charts are going to be from an Imperial perspective, and if I might be frank, sir, I think the Beast Riders are coming at it from a bit more vertical vantage point. It might just be best if I can climb something real tall and get somebody to fly by. At the very least, I'll be on their turf, if you understand my meaning. If if we approached it as an Imperial would, they might just lay an ambush on us. But if we approach from their angle, I think we can make better contact, sir.
I know you're eager to get back out there and do some good, Tammet.
Very eager, very eager.
I don't see how there's any harm in seeing the Imperial side of things. We can ignore it, but if we don't see it, we won't know. And I think I'm just
absolutely,
watching
sir,
Tammet's hands like shaking slightly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as he realizes it's not an easy sell, he starts getting not very, but he starts getting irate. Very, sir, and that is something that I think you are well suited for. I'm a scout looking over these maps. Of course, I can do that. I can do that in my sleep. But right now, we need to be as proactive as we can. What if they come back and attack us before we have a chance to make contact because we're studying the maps, we're studying the video? Sir, again, respectfully, I understand you're in charge of this mission, Commander, but use me where I'm useful.
Kel, I think, is sat with his feet up on one of the chairs and on the commander's thing, and he looks down at Tammet's like slightly twitching and the beads of sweat perhaps that are there, and then he goes over, presses the button on the door until it shuts, and then just leans into Tammet and says, like, "Man, I don't care if you use one of those stimpaks right now, Tammet."
Yeah, Tammet gets real sweaty. Sir, I don't know if I take your meaning.
Do we look like we're some sort of we're not exactly the byword for military discipline, huh? That's why they send us. Now, as long as it don't interfere with your work, and I can see that it's about to interfere with your work, I don't care. Now, I told you I used to run with the bounty hunters, right?
I believe it came up, sir, yes.
Yeah, well, it ain't all black and white back then. It took me a long time to learn that. But I saw that you restrained yourself when I went down to the cantina. So you left one of them behind. And he pulls it out from his pocket and says, "Now I'm going to keep hold of this one. You know where it is, huh? But all I'm saying is, don't go off half-cocked just because you want to get a fix, huh? Just get your fix right here, and I won't say nothing."
Yes, sir. I understand your meaning. If I may use the refresher, pull up those maps. And as soon as Kel lets Tammet go, he's going to go to the refresher, hit a stim in there, and then come back and study some maps.
Yeah.
But he's not going to act like he did. Just, you know what I mean? He's still a little bit burdened by this. So he's going to go off, use it in private, come back. If he was in the field, use it, no problem. But, you know, there's some stigma to him.
It's our uncomfortable little shared secret now.
Yes,
I was previously just turning a complete blind eye and not letting you know that I know, and now I'm letting you know that I know, and I don't know. It's not a problem, particularly for me.
It's so good that you said that you saw. I love it because I'm like, oh, I don't even like sneakily do it. I just do it. Yeah, right.
That's good. I like that a lot. Nice. We're at our halfway point. It's 27 after. I'm not sure if Dave is able to peer us, but let's take a break. Okay, cool. Okay, now it's 28 after, 7-ish minutes, so we'll be back at 25 till. See you guys in a bit. All right, we're back. Let's pick up with Zyra Tarvo. So where did you end up? Do you think that Zyra would plug in coordinates to?
Right, back at the planet. I mean, I'm not going very far, just maybe a little on the outskirts of the solar system that we're in, and then I'm going to fly back in because I don't need to go anywhere else. I mean, I would like to go anywhere else, but Republic, blah blah. I need to go back. So
all right.
I will change the transponder though. I will change the ship's name to Carvus Lost now because I mean I don't really need the Empire to get. I need the Empire to get on my back. And I will fly back in a route that they probably won't see me.
Okay, well, let's see how that goes. Give me a roll. We're going to call this again a moderate roll. You get to roll all of your wonderful dice. Oh, by the way, I meant to do this off. Here, I'll just.
Do I get the mobility here?
You do. You get the mobility and your piloting. Your difficulty is a 15.
Okay.
You've got a passel of dice. Surely this will work out. You're rolling 8d6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's a 1 on the destiny die though.
Why, yes, it is. So here's what happens. You flip the transponder code when you come back in. So you hopped out. Don't really even leave the solar system, just enough to get out of sensor range, hop back in, and then you skate in. You're coming in on the side opposite of Aziz. You realize that the best way to avoid their kind of CNC is to just flip onto the dark side of the planet. And then once you're down in Atmo, you can zip around again. And so the destiny die rolling as a 1 is that's what you have to do. You have, like, it's going to take some time. You end up using up some foodstuffs and spending a lot of time on the ship. So you're gone for not like a day, but many hours. And you also realize that it's probably best that you don't throw a whole lot of comm signals out. They're listening for you. So yeah.
Yeah, but I've got my comm link. I can use that.
That's true. You do have the comm link.
So I will tell them, hey, I'm back in the atmosphere. I'm back on the planet, but ran into a bit of trouble, and I'm going back to base. But I have to dodge a few things.
Why the hell are you off planet?
I was scouting.
That's what we got. That's what we got. No, all right. Just don't bring the whole Imperial fleet back with you, huh?
That's what I'm trying to do.
May the force be with you. Ivory comes on. Gives you a thumbs up.
And Cal, probably alone amongst all these rebels, just looks like disgusted.
The correct answer to that is "and with you always," and then I'll turn off.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Sweet. So let's jump a little bit of time with Zyra coming back. We'll say that Jalpir, you and your current ex-Imperial recruits have finished up cleaning the launch pad in time for the Karwoo's Loss ship to come and land right beside the Lambda class. And yeah, I think that'd be a cool little scene for you guys. Zyra, you see that Jalpir is there with a couple of the prisoners. They seem to have cleaned up some of the mess that was created when you guys had to fight off that guy who was trying to fly the ship off.
Okay, seems peaceful enough around here. I'll park, I guess, the ship somewhere. Can I use the landing pad? Is there enough space?
Yes, the launch pad is big enough for 2 ships, so you can certainly do that.
I will do that.
And when you do that, Riffin and Ivory both exit the ship with you. Ivory stretches a little bit, cracks her back, looks around, glances over at the 2. Who are these guys? Zai, you didn't say that we had guests.
They're not guests, I guess. I don't know who they are. Let's figure that out. And this is Jalpir, remember him, right? So we ask him.
Jalpir.
What do you say about my mother?
Oh, Criff, I'm sorry.
It's so easy to annoy the foolish humans. They have come to our way of thinking. They're assisting us now.
So these are.
They've liberated not only the base, but their hearts and minds.
Nice. Okay. Hey, fellow rebels, may the force be with you.
We are not rebels, we are a legitimate government.
Oh, what? Oh, yeah, right. I forgot about that. Sorry. Hello, fellow Republic citizens, may the force be with you.
If the force be with you,
No,
Bag says.
And also with you or something. It changes.
And with you always.
And with you
good.
always is the new one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I prefer Godspeed Rebels myself.
But we're not rebels anymore.
Speak for yourself, Zyra.
Ha! I'm
This
not
guy
part of
here's
your.
always a rebel. I'm feeling great. Let's get to work.
I was wondering. We've got the shuttle, right? The Nilos, and I believe, Toma fills me in on the whole transponder fake destroyed thing,
Yes,
right?
100% does.
And I look over at the flying Gundark, and I'm like, well, hey, I wonder, any way we could use an Imperial transponder to cover the Gundark? I mean, we take the Nilos up, it's going to send up a red flag because they know that it's been, as far as they're concerned, it's been destroyed, right? But Dardano doesn't, probably will know that we've taken it. But if we could maybe change the name and the specs, but to make you look like an Imperial. I don't know what's possible. I'm not really a tech guy, but it seems as though that's something we could do to.
I've changed lots of transponders.
From what you're saying,
hard.
yeah, but from what you're saying, it doesn't seem as though you change them all that well. No offense intended.
I'm not a mechanic, okay? That's what we've got an astromech for.
Well, all right. Well, Toma, you reckon you can give Riffin a help with changing the transponder?
Sure, let's go and do it.
And
Come
Toma says that sounds great, sir.
All right,
I'm on it.
They lean in and say, "Don't mind the droid. He's an odd astromech, but his process is in the right place."
Astromech droids, like, they're normally pretty feisty. You sure you don't want to put a restraining bolt on it, sir?
I'm very, very sure of that, and I'm very sure you do not want to say that around Zyra.
Okay.
Or the droid.
Thanks for the heads up.
Or the Wookiee. Maybe Temmin. You could probably say it around Temmin, but quietly.
Okay. I didn't realize that you guys cared about droids that much. Okay. We have a droid, by the way. I'm not sure if you saw it down in the.
Yeah, it came out and beeped at me a bit when I was fiddling around with making sure the ATST was locked down. From what I understood, it's pretty happy to do whatever it's been doing so far, but it doesn't really like socializing with the meatbags, I think was the word it used.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's fine by me. I just need to make sure that Riffin doesn't get too close with it. We end up with some sort of droid rebellion on our hands. The GM looks like. Yeah.
I think Toma kind of laughs at that. Like, she thinks you're telling a joke. Does not realize you are actually concerned about the possibility.
Hey, I remember the free droid colony. Yeah, cool. Yeah, because I've been trying to rack my head around how we can use that transponder for something, right? It feels like a valuable asset in any kind of thing, but also entirely useless in the thing that it's connected to at the moment.
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah. So can we do that so that the Gundark has got like the ability to send like a safe transponder code, basically, that won't flag with the Imperials?
Why, you can definitely give that a shot if somebody wants to make a tech roll. Actually, it would be a mechanical roll, right? You're going to be. Well, no.
Can't do that. I mean, it's nobody's fiddling around with the Carbos laws if I'm not involved, because it's not my ship, and I need to at least look at what's going on, right?
Yeah, you're better than me at that to begin with. So yeah, for sure.
Buddy, no.
Just one question about this plan. Do we know that if we were to send, an Imperial transponder code that's tied to this base? Oh, right. Okay. The other Imperials don't know about Whisper Base. So there's not necessarily a chance that if we gave them this code that they would then like ask a challenge or ask for somebody in particular. Okay. Yeah. I don't know why I got worked up on that idea all of a sudden.
No, I want you guys to kind of talk and think that stuff out. I think that's a fair point to ask about and make sure.
So while I've been racking my brains, the only thing Nothing is compromised in multiple ways, right? Because it's the existing transponder, as it were, with the shuttle. The general claimed that it was destroyed and removed the transponder so that he could keep using it for his personal use, basically. So it's just like Whisper Base. It's an Imperial asset that is denied to all other Imperials other than the general.
Exactly.
But the general will know that if we take the shuttle, we can't at the moment strike back at the general. The general's the only person who we could really effectively use a shuttle as a sort of Trojan horse, because otherwise we're just going to set up red flags. But so all I can think of as an exploitable thing is to take that transponder and just use it as the base of a different forgery, you know? So it provides us with like the sort of base codes, but we're not pretending to be the shuttle.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
That makes sense. So we're not trying to pass off the Dreaming Gundark as this shuttle. It's just we're giving it an Imperial code that is a security clearance, essentially, not tied to the shuttle, just in general. That makes sense.
Yeah. And my imagining is that
this can only I just got confused.
This can only really be that useful to us, I think, in terms of next time Zyra goes in pops the atmosphere and goes on a joyride, it's not going to be an instant kind of like red flag kind of thing.
And might be useful in escorting Mothma's forces here at one point.
Yeah.
You know?
True. Yeah. Good point. That's
cool.
That's smart right there. That's
good idea. That's a really good idea.
Zara grins at that smart, like, yay, I'm not hearing that too often. I think she says it, hey, I'm not hearing that too often.
Well, listen, call it like I see it. That's the old scout thing going on. I drink another cup of calf.
Oh, yeah, calf.
Riffin makes some weird bloops behind you at that.
Ivory says, I think you're a genius, Zyra. Don't let them get you down. You know what you're doing. You won the Tour de Minos, man. These guys haven't won any races.
I did. But I've told you all about that, and I'm not going to do it again. I might tell the ex-stormtrooper, New Republic citizens at one point. But no. Now I'm going to fix the transponder. Yay, fiddling with transponders is fun.
Nice.
So I think that it means I will fiddle around with.
There's a help action in this game, is that correct?
There is.
I would like to assist since I got some computer knowledge.
Yeah, good point.
I think that is a good idea. So
I'm rolling for computers.
Find actions. When multiple characters make a skill check together, the character with the highest dice code rolls, adding +1d for each character assisting them within reason.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be computers. I'm technical as well. So if this is a technical based thing or whatever you decide.
Technical or mechanical? What are we doing?
No, the great question. Operating and slicing computers is what you're doing, I feel. Okay. So you're making a computers roll under tech.
Okay. So we both have 3Ds and you're helping and I'm rolling, I guess.
Yeah, and so you'll have 4D total.
I have 4D, and what do I need to roll with my 4D?
Great question. So you do have a transponder code, like you have the not just the code, but the transponder to base it off of, which means that it is only going to be a moderate roll. You will need a 15.
15. Okay, I might work.
That feels more doable, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's exactly a 15 with a 3 on the destiny. Yeah, I'll do it.
It's awesome, and also the most boring possible roll. But yeah, it works.
Okay, so this has to have the transponder code has to have a boring Imperial name. So maybe we'll call it the Instigator or something like that.
Ooh, yeah, I like it.
Instigator's good. There it is. Yeah.
The Dreaming Gundark is now the Instigator. Karwu would be so sad.
Well, we'll change it back. Also, we can change it to Inspirator and Aspirator at some point in the future. Just, no, we're not doing that right now.
Cool. So let's cut to the day enough time has passed for you. It's the day when Major Mothma should arrive. Jalpir, do you eat with these prisoners, not prisoners, these hashtag not prisoners, hashtag not all prisoners? I don't know. Like,
My new friends, I stick to them like mud in Wookiee fur. We are. They were not out of my sight, right? They're not free to go. They're earning their trust. So yes, we eat together.
so you guys are eating together, and anybody else who wants to be present, I imagine this would be, if we're looking at the, like, I thought there was a, hold on. Now I'm looking at the map. I thought there was an area for, there's recreation room, garage control.
There's a mess
center,
hall on the
barracks.
far right.
Thank you. I knew there was a mess hall. I was just looking on the left-hand side. So yeah, this is at the mess hall. And I don't know if you've let them know about Mothma coming or not. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm not asking that. But as folks are eating, Liadra, who you get a feeling, Jalpir, that Liadra is not entirely trusted by Pex and Pag. She sits by you and at one point just casually says, you know, those beast riders, I remember seeing a Wookiee among them.
I will sort of spoon in my mouth going, Wookiee? Yeah?
They had lots of different species. Very few humans among their number. I don't know.
These are not an indigenous species at all. Or are they indigenous and have taken others into their clan? Like I have with you.
Exactly.
Well, maybe it's time we make some sort of peace with these beast riders. It'll be a whole lot easier if we don't have to keep looking up every time we go out.
I
Could
agree.
challenge them to a race.
That
It
doesn't
is
work everywhere.
Probably better for the reinforcements to arrive before we start gallivanting out into the forests.
Yeah, well, you're the you know jungle better than I do, chap here.
I know Kashyyyk. Well, not all jungles are the same.
Hashtag not all jungles.
He said, yeah, these trees are puny.
Well, I agree we can't go out, but once the others arrive, we can leave the base to them. What do you think should be our first port of call? Maybe we're sat on our own table, across away from the captives at this point.
Yeah, that works. You kind of call them over to your table and you guys are there. And I think Ivory would be sitting over with the captives.
Mm. Her and Tom are exchanging stories of maintenance jobs and so forth.
Totally.
Yeah. The way it looks to me is that we got three options. We sit tight and we wait and see what the SIGINT shows up, and we take up any advantage there. We go looking for the beast riders and we try and make some sort of peace with them, or we go looking for the other locals in Daristad and see if we can make some amends and maybe get some more local help.
If there are Wookiees and others in that tribe of beast riders, they are likely to not realize the war is over. I think we should tell them.
I agree.
Yeah, well,
Ride with us.
I think every day spent sitting tight is a day spent that they could discover the jig is up here. I think we need to make moves today, whether that's heading in and recruiting more civilians, or, in my opinion, I'm with Joe here. I think we alert those beast riders, and I don't think we wait for reinforcements to come in for that, frankly, sir. I think, we can approach them as we are now. If they start seeing heavy military action, they might just take us as another invading force and not treat with us when the time comes. We've previously made contact with them when we attacked the base. You know, they responded to my call. They took off. They'll recognize another one, I think, if we approach them without force, without number.
Oh, I'm with Temet on that. I like that one.
Yeah, but what do we do with these guys? And I point my fork over the table. I say we can. I mean, some of them are all right, but I don't think we can leave them on their own. Maybe if we, I don't know. You reckon if we ask them all nicely to stay in the cargo hold of the gun dock, Ivory can keep an eye on them?
Sure. I mean, she's capable, and she seems to have hit it up with that chick over there.
Right. Well.
Also, there's Riffin, and he will electrocute them at the not fatally, but at the first sign of trouble, I imagine. So.
I was going to make sure that Riffin was guarding the lieutenant and the corporal for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well. All right. Well, we're here making our own rules at the moment, so why not? Let's
We're pirates.
Yeah, yeah. Let's get them locked, secured, and comfortable, and let's see if we can make a little sortie out, make contact with the beast riders, and maybe smooth the way in for the other troops.
All right. So, Jalper, did you have any objection to securing the new friends?
They've. I'm uneasy at this, tying them up and chaining them. They have worked and done what we have asked them to do.
So you're saying leave them in charge of the base? Anyone you trust that much already?
Because we're only 24 hours before the reinforcements run to arrive, right? So how long have we got before the reinforcements?
They'll be here within an hour. So if you guys wanted to decide to wait that out, that's perfectly fine. We could just
if they're only an hour out, then yeah, we can wait. I for some reason thought we were still
Well, a few hours, not long, because remember Zyra had to spend several hours coming from the shadow of the the planet, so that ate up a lot of
we even had this original plan, and then the timeline just got pushed back because we kept going, where the hell is Zyra? She was only going to radio in the Rebel Alliance.
In that case, I'm cleaning my gun.
Yeah.
Waiting for the next scouting.
Cool. So you guys get a comm from on the signal from Major Mothma, informing you that they have successfully arrived in Aziz, and Mothma asks if you guys can. They're having a bit of trouble securing passage out into the jungle because they don't even if they get passage, they don't want to go directly to Whisper Base. So she's asking for you, Lieutenant, to send someone out to meet with them and bring them the rest of the way in.
Yeah, I'm well, volunteers.
That's what we did the transponder shenanigans for, right?
One of the reasons, yes.
So let's do it. Anyone wants to come with me?
I'll go
Ivory
with.
Ivory raises her hand too. Of course, she's very excited.
Yeah. Sure. Okay.
As long as we keep in our minds one, loyal soldier. So Trazik or me with each group. Cyrus flying ship, he'll go with to make the contact and a salute. Et cetera, et cetera.
I'm basically totally volunteering to be the one who babysits the base if anyone wants to go out and.
Yeah, Tammet is ready to get out of this base. I think his legs just bouncing up and down, ready to go somewhere.
Cal thinks, how many of those stim packs has he got?
You're very chipper today, Tammet. Like it.
Always excited for a little bit of action, It's good.
I hope, but I think we're trying to avoid action. I mean,
you never know, though, right? You never know. We're in the jungles. You never know.
We're not in the jungles. We're escorting these guys over here.
Of course,
With
but the
we're
planet
on
is
the ship.
jungle. While we fly over it, it's jungle.
Okay,
It's
okay.
jungle life.
If we crash, then we're in the jungle.
And you know what? I spent all yesterday with Kel studying the maps. We're good. If that was to happen, if force forbid, the worst was to happen and we were to crash in those jungles, we would be good.
Okay, I like to hear that. We won't crash though. I try to avoid that.
Blaster carbine over his shoulder. Let's go get those troops.
Okay, let's go.
Cool. Jalpir, are you staying on base or are you heading out on the?
If they're all, I will be staying on base with my friends. We will do calisthenics.
Nice. And among the friends, we aren't counting Corporal Duke Sarlin, who mouthed off to you, or Lieutenant Save, right? Those two have been continually imprisoned.
They have been locked up.
Okay.
They have been. Yeah, they made it clear that they did not want to be citizens of the New Republic. So they are still locked up.
Nice. So I think I'm just trying to get like a vague idea. Would Liadra have the ability to approach Kel at any point or ask to talk to him privately?
Yeah, sure.
Him?
Sure.
So let's say that you're in the the comm center when the instigator has taken off and is heading off to Major Mothma, and Liadra comes in and Toma is there with you, and she says, Lieutenant Trazik, is there a moment that we could perhaps speak?
Sure. Let's step into this office here.
So she follows you into the office, and you can tell that she is standing at attention. Like, it seems natural for her.
How can I help?
I wish to have no more violence in the base. And I wanted to make sure that you are aware that the former stormtrooper PX-844 and Corporal Lopez have been feeding information to Lieutenant Save.
Well, that's a shame.
I believe that with the majority of your forces gone, they are going to make an attempt to free the lieutenant and the corporal.
Well, I appreciate the heads up. Now, what is it? You say you do this just because you don't want any more of your men to die?
But, point of fact, I don't want to die. I thought perhaps, since I'm giving you vital information, that you could just open the doors to the garage and let me head out into the jungle. I'll make my own way. Be out of your hair.
And then straight to the other base and tell them all about what's happened to Whisper.
Oh, the moment that Dardano finds out that I've given up the location of Whisper Base, I'll be a dead woman, so no.
You want to go out into the jungle where those beast riders are? There's an awful lot of creepy crawlies out there, and
Oh, it's not my preference, but the idea of being in a New Republic holding cell for the next few years also has no appeal. I appreciate the good nature of your Wookiee friend, but I don't trust it.
you know there's an armistice, right? Stand-in deal.
Mm-hmm.
Republic don't want to fight this war no more. Surrender. You're clean, you're honest. You ain't gonna be looking at a cell for 3 years. Maybe you ain't never gonna be a lieutenant in nothing no more. But you can live like any other person in the galaxy. Or unless there's something in your book you don't think can be wiped clean.
Oh, what's in a book? You seem to be aware that you have a STEM junkie on your team. You seem to be a pretty forgiving officer.
Ain't no good and bad in the universe. There's just us.
Armistice, you say?
Yep. Anyone who thinks they can fight a war clean ain't got their hands dirty.
It feels like, in a way, you're negotiating with her.
I think so. Yeah, I'm basically saying that. Look, I can't send you out effectively, but I do want to keep you on side. I appreciate what you've brought to me, but there's no way in hell I'm letting you out into the jungle, right? And I would like someone who is clearly competent and whatever, if she's on the level, to stick around and to make a go of it. You know, like the only way we're ever going to end the war is by allowing soldiers to surrender, right? Without every single one of them being locked up in a war crime camp.
Okay, sounds good. Let's have you roll. It's an easy difficulty.
Okay. My negotiate is where would that be? Actually?
Bargain.
Bargain, yeah. 3D then.
You're looking for a 10.
Got an 11.
And a 3 on the destiny die.
Mm-hmm.
You realize when you're offering up this armistice that she's considering it, but you also think about what Jalpir has told you about Pag and Pex and realize that she is likely lying about what she was bringing to your attention.
Oh yeah, I thought about I wasn't gonna go off and but from what I remember you said it was Pex and
Pex and Pag.
Oh, Pex and Pag. Okay. Pag is the one who was I miss Pag. Okay. Yeah, so I'm afraid I can't let you go, Theranos, but you stick around and I'll show you just how we deal with this sort of thing in the Republic.
All right. Well, thank you. And she will excuse herself and head.
And I flick up the command center's displays, and I make sure to keep an eye on where that little tag of Theranos' transponder or whatever is. I'm going to start spying on the Imperials.
Awesome. She makes her way to the area adjacent to where Lieutenant Save is, like the next room over.
Yeah. And I just look disappointed, and I think you just see me come in Jalpir and then the wipe, right? The Star Wars wipe across.
Yes.
I fill Jalpir in on all of this, and I say, the gist of the conversation in between is that we've got a problem. They're your tribe. They're your, you've got the bond with them. I'm follow your lead on this.
She could be lying to us as well.
I'm pretty sure she's lying to us, Jalpir.
I would suggest that we move the prisoners quietly to somewhere else within the base and see if they try to do as you have suggested. Then we will uncover who among them is the liar. the trust we have given them, if we threaten it now, and it is they are on our side, we will have lost them forever.
I'm going to go. We'll do that. We'll sneak the lieutenant and the corporal. We'll lock them in the trash compactor, I think. And because it's far away from the other people, right? While everybody else is in another room. And I was thinking if maybe Riffin stayed behind, we leave Riffin behind in the lieutenant's room. So when they come to bust him out, it's you know, electrocutes them.
Okay, so you're laying a
then-
trap for whoever is going to try to save Lieutenant Save.
Yes, and leaving it, leaving a noticeable gap in our security measures around the prisoners for them to exploit.
Cool.
Yeah, Joe Pierre will distract all of them whilst this is happening. Take them on some other bonding exercise. We'll create like a falling circle or something.
Oh
Right?
yeah, and the way that Kel gets them is he gets a little ripples to trolley kind of thing, from the garage, goes over whistling, puts it by the side, opens the door, stuns Lieutenant immediately, hauls him onto it, opens the door, stuns the corporal, piles him on top, and then pushes him down the corridor, whistling away.
Cool. Good. So let's cut away from that. And we see the instigator, the fine old Republic transport with Tamit, Tarvo, and Ivory. And so you guys have Riffin, is that right? Because you don't need an astromech droid if you're just doing on-planet stuff.
No, I
anyway.
think we left Griffin with the others.
Right. I'm
because-
sorry. I when I said you guys, I was totally unclear. I meant Riffin is back at the base, which we're on the same page. Okay. Cool. So you follow the signal and you're going to drop a nav point, and you see that there is a speeder that's on the edge of the major part of the jungle. You see Major Mothma is there with several members. There's a Bothan and 2 other humans there with her, and you see they've got a bunch of supplies that are kind of on the back, so they're all crowded into this speeder. I'm imagining it's like a poop brown land speeder similar to what Luke had, and it sticks out like a sore thumb.
Oh yeah.
Mothma waves as you guys fly overhead, and eventually you come down, and she says, Specialist Tarvo, and what's Tamit's rank? She doesn't ask that. Rich needs to know.
Good question. And Tamit, he's not much for ranks, but I should find one, huh?
Ranger is good, yeah.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, Ranger, yeah. I like it.
Cool. Then I'm gonna stick that in to remind me. Ranger Ardand. This is a few members of my command staff that I've brought along for this operation. Captain Borskovar, Second Lieutenant Mia Charcourt, and Sergeant Lena Corrand. And there's Specialist Ivory as well. And she says, dear Ratataki, she screams, "May the force be with you!"
Tamit offers a handshake. He's no reason to salute in this enemy territory. So
Yeah, they don't. They just do. She does quick introductions, and then they're quickly grabbing things and throwing them onto a couple of small graph pallets to move them along. They're bringing supplies from munitions, foodstuffs, and some tech.
Perfect.
Have you had any problems, Specialist Tarvo?
Not a one
Good. Excellent work.
yet.
Oh, we're here to solve problems together. Looking forward to this.
I thought we were here to create problems for Zsinj together, but okay.
Creating problems, solving problems, tomato. I like
I
the
don't know
way you
what
think.
that is, but yeah, sure.
Oh, they're a core world delicacy. Some call it a fruit, some call it a vegetable.
Okay. We didn't have them in the garden, so where I grew up. Ship.
So you're sure that there are no problems? Aziz was pretty tight. Gyrene base being that close, of course, it makes sense, but it just got an odd feeling. about the place?
Nobody called us up. Nobody called us up yet. We've got a. This is the Imperial Transport Instigator. Welcome on board.
Interesting. Interesting.
Mhm.
Well, good. Then everything except for visual confirmation, this transponder should get you guys into places where you're not supposed to be.
Yeah.
I like it.
While they're discussing that, Tammet wants to be scanning, around, making sure they weren't followed by anybody in Aziz, making sure that there's no, no other spies or scouts out there.
Awesome. Why don't you give me a moderate difficulty roll to, feels like, see, stealth is actively doing it yourself, but it's also your kind of, I guess it's going to be a search roll.
It would be
Looking for-
search, yeah.
Yeah.
I did
Cool.
a bad. I should have leveled up search. All right, let's see here. 3D.
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. All right. Roll the dice. I got a 5. I got a total of a 7. And the Destiny die was a 5. That's great.
Okay. Cool. So you're searching and scanning the tree line as everybody's loading everything up, and you see the telltale kind of bobbing of a little Imperial droid, like a probe droid. It's just watching this, and then when you notices it starts to.
It notices
fly away.
me. It notices that I notice.
You notice that you notice, and then it starts to fly away. What do you do?
I immediately draw my scoped carbine and I yell up. We've been spotted. Imperial probe droid in the tree line. And if any other soldiers have rifles on them, cool. If not, I'm gonna run after it and try and line up a shot before it can hit or explode on its own.
It's a pretty small thing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
If that misses, I might just use the lasers on the instigator. But yeah.
Sweet. Suitor is better. So let's have Ranger Tammet Ardand take a shot. This will be a blaster's roll. You're rolling 5D on it. It is a moderate difficulty. This thing is small and it is starting to move.
Does the scope? Let's see here. Oh, I have to use an action to aim and gain plus 2d6. Okay, that's
right.
Yeah, I'll just roll that 5 dice. That is fine. I get a 17.
Okay, that is what you needed. That is fantastic. So you dial that thing in, you start to look in the scope and realize you don't have enough time, fire off a shot, and you hit and tag that probe droid, and then it hits down onto the ground and kind of falls into a swampy area here in the jungle.
And I give you like a woo, good shot. Over
Thanks,
the comms.
but that doesn't mean anything. It surely sent our location. We need to move.
Yeah. Okay, we're moving.
Cool. So you guys hop in, finish moving everything, and I think Major Mothma says, we'll just bring the speeder. There are no bugs on this thing. So it's a rented speeder that they will just basically steal and never return for now. And you guys hop on to the instigator and head off. We cut back to
the word for that. I will inform whatever her rank is. Mothma is liberate.
Liberate. I've liberated the speeder by taking it from a hardworking person who expected me to return it. We'll make amends later. Needs of the mission. So we cut back to Whisper Base. You guys have laid your trap. Moved away to where they think the belief is from whoever is trying to free the lieutenant, that they are available and you guys are away. And where are you watching this, Lieutenant Trazik?
The command center's got cameras all over the place, he said.
Perfect place, yeah. So you see as Liadra Threnos moves back into that room where she was communicating with Lieutenant Save or standing near him, and you see her open up a panel and slide it out. And Lieutenant Save steps through. And then the two of them start to move towards the hallway, and they are making their way towards the garage. Oh, that's right. Save's gone. How could they see that? You've already stunned Save. So again, she opens the panel, sticks her head in, doesn't see Lieutenant
Sees
Save.
Zhao Pierre, who's in the cell waiting for them.
That's
She sort of puts her head in, she just grabbed and dragged through.
No, the Wookiee hands come out the door. Yeah.
Yeah, so her eyes widen when she sees you there, and you capture her. If you can make a nice, easy roll here.
I got 4 of those in a dice, so let's see. So that's a 15 all in all.
Oh yeah. She tries to fend you off, but she is not used to fighting Wookiees. You overpower her, may throw her to the deck, and she's been captured. So
Scream into her face that I offered you friendship and family. Said you were given a chance. Now you will live out the rest of your miserable life on a prison planet.
nice, and we see a bit of fear in her eyes. And then we cut to the instigator arriving at the launch pad, and Major Mothma, the rest of her staff, heading out with you guys to go into the base. Now, Ranger Ardan, have you given Mothma the 411 that you have these prisoners and what you guys have been doing with them? She's definitely going to be asking questions.
Yeah,
curious.
yeah. Ardan lays out all the possible intel that she could want. Anything he's noticed, anything he's scouted. He notes the big beast riders. He notes the number of troops we have. He notes their records. He notes whether they're turnable or not. Like anything he can think. You know, his job is to scout. It's to provide information, not to make decisions with it. So he's, giving it all to her.
Cool. She's thankful for the information and shares that with the rest of the officers who were with her. Well, one other officer, the other 2 other officers. One is non-commissioned. So great. Yeah, you guys have doubled in staff size and ferreted out. You have 3 definite prisoners and 5 who are as yet undefined. And I think Major Mothma is going to recommend that for Save, Therinos, and Sarlin, that those 3 should be secured and you escort them off planet. But I think once you guys have shared a little bit of information, she comes on. Major Mothma is going to say she'll end up pulling the 4 of you into the meeting room. The sergeant and second lieutenant have now secured the prisoners, and she's saying, well, I've read the reports that you provided, and I know that 3 of these Imperial prisoners will need to be sentenced for their crimes and should be moved out of Whisper Base. What about the remaining 5?
I mean, I reckon they should get the same chance so many rebels did, huh?
We can't allow them to leave Whisper Base unattended for quite some time.
Oh, I agree. But we got some of our guys here, and we got some of them. We see how much we can trust them. But they know the base, they know how things work, they can make it. And we're still thin on the ground, right? They can take care of keeping things ticking over until we're sure about them.
All right.
Besides, I got a good feeling about that Pax guy.
Jalpir, what are your feelings on this?
They will be given a chance. They have helped us, and for most of them, they have kept their word. The betrayal of that nerf herding wretch in the cell will show that we have kept to our word, and as long as they keep to theirs, there is a place for them in the Republic, which will be better than the fate that Leandra Thrunios will face.
And I always like to have an outside perspective. So, Specialist Tarvo, what are your thoughts?
I've been mostly gone from the base. I don't know these guys. I mean, if they want to be a part of the Republic, I know that a lot when the tides started to turn on the Empire, a lot of the imps went over to the Rebel Alliance and then behaved like Imperials anyway. So I don't know. They're humans. I don't trust them.
All right. Ranger Ardan, any thoughts to share?
I defer to the lieutenant on this one. I think we need the men here, but I've given you everything you need to know about their backgrounds. Plenty of rebels had to rebel from something, but I think many of these troops were ride or die for the Empire. What Joe Pierre's doing with them seems to be working, but I don't trust any of them as far as I can throw them.
Luckily, we only have to trust them as far as Joe Pierre can throw them.
Why throw them?
Imagine,
You can hug
imagine
them.
that's quite far.
A good hug is worth as much. You have fought wars for too long. You have forgotten what it is to trust.
But I do reckon we should get rid of those three.
Oh,
Yeah.
without a shadow of a doubt. Publicly, away from here, somewhere cold and desolate where they will never bother the galaxy again.
Well, I'm going to ask the captain to conduct interviews with those 5 candidates who may remain and assist us before signing off on anything, but I appreciate your candor and your information about these. Zara, do you mind handling the transport of the prisoners who will be moving off of the base?
I was going to go with the others to find to look at these beast rider fellows because I wanted to ride one of these these Meractors, actually. And I guess that's still possible if I escort them out of there. I don't think so because we wanted to get going as soon as you were here.
Understood.
Well, surely the captain could take them out.
Or we could leave them here until we're back and then I can take them out.
Well, I do need to conduct the interviews. If you're heading now, then that should work fine. We'll keep the base secure. The 4 of you can head out to speak to these beast riders, which I saw in your report.
Yeah, could you, there's a whole bunch of intel over on that terminal there. I couldn't make heads or tails of it, but might mean something to you.
I'll have Mila take a look.
And yeah, I guess we'll be taking the speeder bikes out to the jungle to meet the beast riders.
The beast riders are up in the air. The speeder bikes, they don't go up, you know. Maybe we should just take the shuttle.
I'm thinking the shuttle's a bit big.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but how will you make contact? Just wave at them? They don't react to that. They're high up. I saw them when I was on speeder bike to get the inspirator or whatever. And I mean, we can climb the trees and wave at them. That seems like fun. Oh, we could climb the trees and try to jump on one of the ractals.
Yeah, Zara, we could try that for sure. He's overwhelmed by the flurry of ideas coming at him. But I think the main thing we need to do is show them that we ain't the imps. So we go out.
Hey, I can paint the Lambda shuttle. They will see we're not the imps if I'm done with that.
I think of the stormtrooper armor. And I think about what I saw on Endor and how the Ewoks used all those stormtrooper things, and I thought, you know what could signify that we're not the Imperials? Would be a whole bunch of you know, like Guy Fawkes. I don't know what you guys have in America, but you know, like empty armor, basically trophies to show that we've beaten the Imperials.
Oh, I like that. I like that. We can paint them too.
But I think our Wookiee noble, compassionate warrior is probably the best person to lead our negotiations when it comes with the Beast Riders.
For sure.
Before we leave, I think I will look at the major and stand up tall in front of her and says, I gave these people my word that they would be safe and protected whilst they were with us. If we are truly to be the shining light of the Republic, Major, we will need them. We will need to forgive no matter the foolishness of their actions. If they need to go from this planet, send them. But those who have been kind and those who have helped us, I expect to be cared for.
Major Mothma seems touched by the generosity of spirit that you offer and the nobility. So she, of course, Jalpir. Winning
Good.
hearts and minds here is also part of our mission. I agree.
But Thurinos turned my offer of family into a lie. She is forfeit. Do as her as you will.
Very well. Well, I wish the best of luck to the four of you. Rupings are nothing to sneeze at.
What's the name of the beasties?
They are called Rupings.
Oh.
Ruping.
Rupings. Okay. Oh, nice.
I thought you might have recognized when you see them, Sabine. You'll recognize them. They were in several Clone Wars episodes.
I'll
Actually, shoot, what is the guy who was in Rogue One?
Saw Gerrera.
Saw Gerrera flew on them at one point. Here's a picture.
Ooh, I want one.
Right?
Yeah. And I'm so glad I'm Zyra now because she would be fine with flying them, which I wouldn't be, but yeah.
Okay, so yeah, what is the plan here for trying to find the Beast Riders? If you've got a scout among you, so that might be helpful, but you also have some Imperial information, but it's pretty scant. Like they didn't seem to have been able to centralize wherever these guys were. They found, like you can see on the map, they marked like 6 different places where they thought that they were housed, and every time they investigated, they found nothing.
Where they thought they were housed, like where they're. So the places that are marked on the map or the intelligence is not where like patrols had been hit. It was, we think they might be bunkered down here.
Yeah, you can see the patrols have. There aren't a whole lot of patrols on Whisper Base. They mostly just kind of sit tight.
Okay.
But yeah, you've got marks of where the patrols are, which are all near. They just kind of go around the base. But then they've sent some patrols out when they were trying to search where the Beast Riders might be. And there were 6 different spots where they thought, oh, well, maybe they are housed here. They go, they find nothing.
Okay.
I mean, if we're going to negotiate, for me, it seems as though the approach is to be open and upfront about who we are, and no, we're not trying to catch them by surprise. We're not trying to do it. We're just trying to go out there and be like, make it very clear that we're not Imperials, which I'm imagining by having those stormy, broken bits of armor maybe strapped to the front of the speeder bikes.
Oh, nice. Cool. So then we see the 4 of you guys, broken bits of stormtrooper armor on you on speeder bikes, zipping through the jungle.
Do we have some sort of signal flares or anything that could or a little drone that might say hi at them or something like that? Because if they're up there and we're down there, they need to get to us.
I reckon they'll see us coming. They seem to have
Yeah,
a pretty good view of us all the time.
Yeah, but why would they want to talk to us? Or how would they know that we want to talk to them?
Good point. Bring a crate of rations as well.
There is a Wookiee among them. I will
Oh, right.
call him.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, let's do a Wookiee call. Sorry.
Do we have anything loud? We look over to Jap.
Sweet. So then we fly. You guys zip out on your speeder bikes, maybe heading near to one of the areas that Tammet had found and what suspected that the beast riders might be. And then Jalpir, were you just going to give out a ululating cry of some kind? Oh, you're muted, Dave.
Yeah, I think much like that. Yes, I think I will head I will howl into the air. And hey, I am known for my direct expertise as my edge, Rich. So maybe if there is a Wookiee there, not only will they recognize my Wookiee cry, they will know me, and we have stood together in battle.
Ooh, that's true. No, that sounds awesome. Okay, so you call out, and we hear some birds fly up because of the huge cry of the Wookiee, and then the canopy above you guys parts as you see there are massive wings forcing some of the treetops aside. And first you see this huge beast covered in thick scales with bat-like wings spread several meters wide, and it comes down and it lands in front of your 4 speeder bikes, and you see that there's a human hefting a primitive but effective looking javelin. But then you see that there are 2 more of the large Rupings. You guys hopefully saw the image file. They both come and land behind. Of those 3, 2 appear to be humans and 1 is a Wookiee. Let me share her picture. And she sees you, Jalpir, and immediately her eyes scan to the braids. And while she does have a braid, it's ceremonial. It's to look nice. It is not indication of any kind of status. And she slides off of the saddle and immediately comes forward and bows her head. She doesn't drop to a knee. I don't think that Wookiees do that, but she would lower her head in respect.
I think it's matched. It is sort of nodded forward, arms folded, looking at equal. So we come in peace. The Empire has fallen. Whisper Base has been taken.
This is good. I am Salbo. You are Jalpir, the Star Forger.
So I am honored to meet you. You are far from home.
My home was not a home when I left.
Well, so we are rebuilding. So should you wish to return, that can be achieved. But if you have found a new family here, then we are here. We are here to offer to you friendship and to ensure that the harm done to your people ends. Is there anything that you need?
We have worked hard to drive the Imperials from our hunting lands. We are known as the Klazka. That is the tribe that I have joined.
Say, and you have done well. They are scared of you, and that is a sign of success in battle. But we are here for a reason, to end this and take what is left of the Imperial forces away from this planet. General Dardano will fall if you help us.
This Dardano that you speak of, we do not know this prey.
He said there is a second base and a second Imperial facility. Do you know its location? Can you help us get in there unseen?
That base has far too many of the men in white for our tribe to be able to vanquish. There are other tribes. It would take a moot. It would take many tribes to defeat this other Imperial place.
Aha. Then what would it cost, or how would we call a moot? We will provide the rations and the fires and the music. Said, my good friend Lieutenant Cal will dance for us.
Tips his hat.
Peers around. Jalpir, the humans cannot dance.
Lieutenant Cal does the closest impression of a Wookiee dance that Jalpir has taught him before.
She does that Chewbacca laughter, you know.
We will find ourselves connected in ways that you do not expect. Cal has tried, at least.
He does us honor.
Said, should we call a moot? Would the other tribes, if they are supported by the Republic, take this menace away?
She turns and addresses the other two members of the Klazka, the humans. She addresses them as Foth Shemar and Pak, which I will drop into chat because they're weird names and that I would not immediately remember. So, and in basic, Pak says, the Klazka will speak and treat with them. The Dordel, the Amroth, the Ezelk, none of them would join in arms with one that cannot ride a Ruping.
So, one of these small birds on Kashyyyk, they are twice as big.
And Salbo looks at them like, I've told you this. She totally agrees that the human members of the Klazka, they narrow their eyes. Do not disrespect our Ruping.
No, they're beautiful creatures. We said we will. He said, then would you summon them, or do we need to learn to ride these creatures?
If you wish, Salbo will speak. If you wish to participate in a moot, then you must be able to ride a Ruping. No others are worthy of stepping into the Great Circle.
Brings me back to when I was a child, and rode a shy old bird for the first time. I will accept your challenge.
And Salvo looks to the rest of you.
I'm sure it's easy enough. Yeah, that's fine.
Wait, we all got to ride one?
Look very hard. Can I? May I? Is that allowed? Do we all get to ride one? I love that.
Yeah, I said, do we all have to ride one? And then Zyra was like, we all get to ride one? Yeah.
And I think what we see is Salvo gesturing for Zyra, because I don't think anybody else is going to beat her, to climb up onto Salvo's mighty rooping. She says, this rooping is known as Watchwing.
Okay.
And then the rooping kind of bends its head down to sniff you and kind of sniffs a little bit for Zyra. And as Zyra, as you climb up, I think that's where we'll end our session.
Mm-hmm.
And we see Zyra has mounted a rooping. We shall see if she is able to fly upon one in our next session. So tried to quit a few minutes before so that we can do a bit of feedback. Let's go ahead and go again, another 4 character points. I'm pretty excited what's going on, and hopefully this will give people enough to add a few more skills or increase what they want. An MR? What's an MR?
Mister.
Mister, I believe.
Oh.
You know, she's cute. And you want the chicks out here?
All right.
There's Ivory, but that's very casual.
That's right. So let's do some stars and wishes. And then we'll let you guys go for the evening for my European friends and afternoon for Cody and I. Let's go from the right to the left. We'll do it in snake order. So whoever goes, that means Cody, you'll go last on wishes, but you get to go first on stars. So Will, what kind of wishes did you have from this session?
One thing is I was reading the Whisper document and it says about the we have objectives, but passing that through, it seems like the objective is basically hold Whisper base and take advantage of any SIGINT that comes in. Is that
Yes.
Is that the 2 objectives effectively?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Cool. I would like to try and bring the Beast Riders and the Arda Rani together. You know, like I want to be leading helping to build an actual rebellion on this planet rather than simply invading it again. So yeah, but I'd also like to take a back seat in the moot and whatever, because you know, being the lieutenant feels as though I was in charge of the things at the base until Mon Mothma arrived, right? And I'd be happy to spend the next session more kind of the muscle or whatever, right? Like,
I really feel like it's more natural that like Jalpir and Zyra would be the people that would kind of step up when it's a lot more like Beast Riders and Moots and being daring and that kind of stuff. That makes sense.
But yeah, those are my wishes.
Okay, those are good. Thank you. Then Rich will jump back to, I've got too many screens up. So Sabine, what wishes did you have?
I wish to fly one of these beasties.
I can definitely meet that wish.
I'm pretty sure that will come to pass. So I'm fine with everything else. I got to fly today. This session, and maybe meet some other of these beast riders and figure out what their deal is, why they're here, and what they're thinking they're doing. And also at one point, maybe I need to draw in one of I have connections, you know. So maybe I can draw on them, not right now, but for the eventual assault on the Imperial base, because that's what connections are there for, right?
Yeah. Cool. That sounds good. Dave, what wishes did you have?
I'm looking forward to the moot. I think I'd like it to be colourful and interesting with, rivalry and some sort of, paint it in interesting way. I think to learn more about this alien culture. But a question with that, which would be to ride these thingies, what skills take that off?
That is a great question.
We got to spend some character points, Rich. Come on.
Well, exactly.
That's
I was thinking,
right.
is it survival, which probably seems like the closest to it? Or
It
is it
feels like
stamina?
survival's real close.
Or athletics, maybe, I suppose, which is.
But I think
might be...
maybe I'll actually try to keep it flexible, right? It could be survival. It could be athletics. You define how you feel like that skill best.
I would like to use agility or anything that's dexterity based instead of strength based for that, because strength I'll just fall off.
I think because we don't have a ride skill, I kind of like the idea of describe how it is that you want to master getting on this flying beast, and then we'll let you roll with it if that's okay. I know the skills normally are pretty hard coded.
Yeah, that's fine. But that's command then. Yes, if you carry me, I will give you a bone.
There you go. Well, and if you're successful, that's how you tame your beast. It's like kind of how do you establish that? That sounds fun to me. Cool. Anything else, Dave?
No, I think those are the ones for me.
Cody.
I think my wish would be, I think it pairs with Will's. I think now that we have the base kind of settled, I think, creating an insurgency or a rebellion, setting that up, however that looks, I think that would be really fun. My character is, I think, more combat based just for blasting. So it's like, I'm excited for the moot and getting us involved, but I want to shoot some stuff too eventually. I think that's where my wish is at.
Good. Awesome. And now you can see stars.
Oh, sorry.
I was agreeing with you. Same page.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and stars. I think it's awesome that we have 5 weeks for this, because it allowed us to have this session where we kind of got to do the fill in, like we talked about kind of in the break there. You gave us the homework for the base, and I messaged you this sideways where I'm like, oh, I love base building mechanics in all games. It doesn't matter what game it is. I'm like, ooh, I enjoy these things. So I really enjoyed that, and I liked that everybody got to have a beat to do their thing. Zyra got to fly. Joe Pure got to, create a new Wookiee clan of ex-stormtroopers. Kel got to reveal that he knows my secret. We got a fun little, commander subordinate the angle there between the troops and myself. So yeah, I like that we got to break that down and have moments for everybody.
I agree. That was nice, and I enjoyed that quite a bit. Dave, what about you? What stars did you have?
I loved Tamit's rather cold, perfunctory militariness about it all. Yeah, let's lock them up. Let's beat them down. Joe Pure going, don't say that to my face, man. We're gonna get into a tussle. So that was cool. And Zyra's joyride was also wonderful. I'm bored. I'm gonna go and fly off. Yeah. Someone take the keys off that joyriding hippie. That was fun. And Will, I think, as I was last time was a comment when he was reading it, it was nice to sort of make the space, but I enjoyed the plan to find the Imperial snake. For now, they will pay. They are not a star forger.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dave. Sabine, what about you? What stars did you have?
I like this session. Really, like everybody else said already, that everybody got their moment to be in the spotlight and to shine and do something they're good at. And I really like the whole thing with the former stormtroopers and Imperial prisoners, how we dealt with this. I really loved Joe Pure going up to them and say, "Join my tribe," and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, okay, let's do that." I mean, that was not just a good role; it was a good role at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like that. And yeah, everybody else, the whole discussion Tenet and Kel had about the whole STEM thing, and I wonder when the STEM thing is going to bite Tenet on the ass. But yeah, and I also like the kind of mutual appreciation Tenet and Zyra seem to have for each other. I really like that dynamic we had. And poor Cal, everybody's like, you want to shoot these? No, I don't really. I love that. So yeah, let's see where this goes. And I really love that we get to write these groupings. Groupings, yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Will, bring us home. What stars did you have?
Literally everybody has said everything that I was going to say.
Okay, that's
you
cool.
know, Zhao Pier's clan, Cody, I enjoy the stim thing coming in and the scenes with it. And I enjoyed the opportunity to have a sort of like, how does Kel feel about the stim use? Because I was like, I feel like a guy who hunted down bounties for a living for quite a while would recognize that sort of behavior. And, you know, just what David said, Zyra's joyride, which was totally a kind of like, well, I'm back in my ship now, let's take a look in space. And then like, the Imperials notice you, there are problems. Like
That was, I'm glad that came off well, because like, you know, I didn't want to be that GM who was like, oh, well, stuff's got to go bad. But I was also like, you know, there's got to be an opportunity. There's got to be some threat here. There's definitely Imperials.
if it doesn't go bad, it's not really joyriding, right? Like there has to be some risk involved in the
Damn, that's a
activity.
really good point. Does it go bad? Is it really joyriding? I love it. Awesome. I'm glad that we have 5 sessions as well, because you know, this was establishing the base, getting to know people. There was a little like side thing of a threat. So, but it was all like lower stakes. So I was worried about, like, if this were 4 sessions, I would be like, you know, but this 5 sessions, it feels like it's good. Now we have a good solid grounding. You guys generally know who you can trust of the prisoners that you've kept. You've built the base up. You've got a Major Mothma in, so now you're not tied to it. So I'm excited about doing more Beast Rider stuff, and perhaps doing some stuff around the village. And you also are going to have a mission thrown at you in the middle of it next time. So I'm very excited about that too. I'll go ahead and bring the recording to a close, but I do want to say thank you all so much. I'm really enjoying this.